Hello everyone, I am Michael Matera and I'm super excited to get Teacher's Table up and running again tonight. So excited to have you guys all gather around the table so that we can kind of discuss, learn, grow together and have kind of, well, a good school year, a good life while we do it too. That's kind of my whole point of my YouTube channel, is finding a bit of joy in the journey of both life and in our classrooms, and Teacher's Table is a huge piece of that. So, well, excited to see who's here and get started with everyone. We have, I think, a really good session planned for today. Today is Monday, and I try to always make Monday a little bit of Monday motivations, get people kind of excited and fired up to be here. So let's see who we already got dropping by here. I see there was quite a bit of chat before. So let's see, Amanda Gray says, hey everybody. I'm going to put a little question in there. Welcome everybody, so glad you could make it. Please share how you're all doing in this school year. Give us a good little start. Carrie's here. Welcome back, Carrie. Jennifer Knox says, so far it's ladies night plus Mr. Matera. Hopefully we get some more people coming to the table. That would be awesome. Please introduce yourself when you do. Today we got a little light goal of 15. We're already at 8. That's fantastic. Adam Marino made it. Good to see you. Jess made it. Awesome to see you here. It's my B-Day today. Happy birthday. I don't know, I feel like that deserves confetti already. So we're gonna do a little confetti here for Jess. Happy birthday. We didn't reach a light goal. This is just confetti, just for you. Happy birthday. But if we do another one, we'll get another confetti. We can do that, because it's our channel. All right, so Elizabeth made it. Hey, Elizabeth, good to see you. All right, so, well, welcome back everybody. I am super jazzed to be here, and today's topic, again, on the whole point of a little Monday motivation, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about a book I've been reading. I'm gonna do reading in air quotes because many of you know that I do most of my reading through audiobooks. Great book called Make Time by Jake Knapp and John Zerzatsky. Forgive me on that one. Here is the book here. The whole point here is how to focus on what matters every day. And I thought, man, this book looks good. This book looks like what I might need this school year, right? Because, well, things are busy this year, right? Because every lesson plan has to be redone and remade. You know, just lots more tech things that are going on, you know, then all your normal daily life stuff. My daughter's getting older. She's involved in more things. Just, whew. So how do we make time? And this book is not just a productivity book. I've read a lot of goal setting books and productivity books. I was thinking about writing a goal setting book at one point, and so I was doing a lot of research on that. And this one's a little different. And I really strongly suggest all of you, every single one of you, pick this one up. In either it's a fabulous audiobook or written book, I would imagine, because the way they laid out the chapters, tons of advice. You get this nice overarching concept about it, which we're going to dive into a little bit here, but also gives you these nice little bite-sized almost strategies that are really quick to read. So once you've read it, you can kind of go back, keep it as a resource, and say, like, I want to try these 3 strategies this week. So I thought I'd highlight some of the things in the book, see what you guys think. Again, if you want to direct any sort of questions at me, if you could put that at Mr. Matera, really helps me out. So let's see what we got here. So the main thing right away in the book, it talks about a few things that happen in our world these days. And one is this idea of the busy bandwagon and how it's turned into, like, being busy is the new cool. Like, you got to always say, like, I'm so busy. I got this, even when you kind of don't, right? Like, so we gotta avoid that busy bandwagon. Then the other thing they talked about, which I really liked concept-wise, was what they called infinity pools. Infinity pools are sort of traps that can kind of endlessly take your time. So Netflix is a good example of an infinity pool. These devices are a bit of an infinity pool. In fact, I got a crazy thing I'm going to do here in front of you. They say one way to sort of push yourself a little bit is we have to change the default settings. Defaults are there to sort of build a habit. They want you to sort of suck this in and keep it. And the more we keep the default to easy, the more we do these things, even if we don't really love the thing we're doing. So one of the things they suggested was, this is gonna be hard for me, delete your social media from your phone, because you can still access it other places. So there I am on my Twitter here, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get this on frame here. I'm gonna push the delete app, and it says, "Ooh, you're deleting Twitter. Are you sure you want to do this?" It's a bam. Twitter just left my phone. Watch this. Facebook's gonna do the same thing. Delete app. You sure? So bam, it's gone. Wow. That's me going all in on this book's theory. One of the things they say, though, guys, in all honesty, if that ends up not being for me, I can install it again. It's not that hard, which is the thing they're trying to remind you of. These things have been set to default. In fact, they even warned me about the fact that there's going to be a warning, do you really want to get rid of this? And the reality is, like, who cares? Like, I can bring it back if it turns out that this was an actual good thing in the workflow of my life. But I got to tell you, from what they were saying, I don't know if it is. I think I'll probably, in all honesty, reinstall it when I go places, like if I'm traveling for work, if I am going to be presenting somewhere and I will be working off my phone, yeah, then I'll install it. And this is what they talk about, changing the default. Not that like Twitter's bad, like no, just change the default so that the default isn't always on, because then this is going to always pull you away from what you should be present in, whether that's being with your classroom, whether that's being with your child, or like whether they break these strategies down to different things, and one of them is called laser mode. And like you literally can't get in laser mode when default is that easy to get into. So change the default, which I love this idea. And they talk about other areas in your life that you can change the default, make things just slightly more inconvenient to do. And you'll start realizing like you're not going to fill your day with like endless checking of this. By the way, the average American screen time on this little device is 5 hours. The average American time of TV watched is 4 hours a day, people, between those two. A lot of that, how you get that is there is overlap where people are literally watching while also on their phone. But still, when we talk about being endlessly busy and can't get to the meaningful work we want to do in our lives, whether that's meaningful work in terms of a side business, a main business, or like gardening or whatever, when we say we can't get to that, but then we allow all the defaults in our lives to take precedent, and they're not even like your goal, like literally they really talk about the fact that this is other people's priorities that you're allowing to take over to the top. All right. Whew. I said a lot there. Let me go back. I saw some Mr. Materas. Oh gosh. Jennifer Knox says she hasn't read this book. It is a good one. Definitely, like I said, strongly recommend you all pick it up. Let's see. Adam Moreno says making time means being intentional with planning and follow through. You know me, I love to follow a schedule. One of their chapters definitely talks about scheduling if you want. Busy is the new insanity these days. That's so true. Jennifer Knox, this is good advice, but are you sure? I did it. Adam, you sure you want to do this? Oof. Well, I'm glad Candace tried Spiderweb Conversations. I love them. I've learned to batch and block my time on my calendar. So that's another thing they talk about. They literally talk about bulldozing your calendar and adding in time for the things you love. That's for sure. Jennifer Knox, why not? Why not try to be all in on something? Again, I can always reinstall it. It would take literally like 2 minutes to install Twitter back, not even. So again, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this for a little bit. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I want to try to change that default and see how it makes me feel. Give it some days to see. I'm sure there's going to be a little decompress there. But let's see. Let's see. Don't try to plan on deleting apps, but I am trying to finish my book. I keep my phone off in another room. I charge it at night in another room so I don't look at it before or when I wake up. Another good tips, again, changing that default, putting things in a little different spot for sure. I don't know. Let's see. We need boundaries with students and parents and colleagues. So true. So again, if I was to, Heather, the book that we're talking about is a book called Make Time. There it is. Fabulous, fabulous book. Absolutely love it. Strong recommendation. So, yeah, okay. Sorry, I was reading some comments. Jennifer, I'm glad we can be like hardcore there together. Let's do these things. But Make Time, so fabulous. If I was to sort of go over there, they have like 4 sort of things to sort of get you to the top here. And then inside each of these are like 50 suggestions, it seems, per one. But they break down the strategy into 4 categories, and that's your highlight, laser mode, energize, and reflect. And so the highlight literally is what is the one thing you want to make sure you get done today. Every morning, write down your highlight, and every day make sure you dedicate time to that highlight. The highlight should be something that you can kind of accomplish, or at very least get pretty far into, or start, I guess, in about 60 to 90 minutes. If it's less than that, that's fine. But like, don't pick like, I want to build a deck. Like that's like a goal. That's not a highlight. A highlight's something you're going to finish probably that day, or at least do. Maybe it doesn't have time for it, like, or a time limit. For example, I picked a highlight the other day that I wanted to like just be present with my daughter and really be full in. And again, by setting it as my highlight, I then made time for it. I blocked out some time. I made sure I did up my other tasks at other moments. So then when I was with her, I was just with her, which was awesome. You should schedule it. So going to Adam's point is literally put it on your schedule if you can. Block it out that like this is my highlight time. And so if, for example, if your principal or anybody else can actually see your calendar, literally block it in there. So people don't say, oh, I see that you have like third period free. No, that's not free. I'm doing something. Which brings me to another tip that I like is honor the fact that that is your highlight, that is good work to get done. Even if it's work, for you, for the inside of you, like that's important. That feeds you, that fulfills you. If it is work for work's sake, like make sure no one takes that time. So when somebody asks you, like, can you do this? Don't feel bad about saying no, because you actually have something scheduled right then and there. Let's see. I like Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Read that too. Love it. Let's see. Leah, yes, this book I think would be useful to everybody. Then, all right, so the other one is laser. So laser mode is obviously like getting into this flow, getting it like locking in and being able to like really dive down on a task. And they had some really good suggestions here. One was literally invent a deadline. I liked this because a lot of my projects don't really have a deadline. Like I'm working on an idea or I'm working on a new podcast idea or a new vlog idea for my YouTube channel, and it really could just never happen, right? And I like it when I set that sort of imaginary deadline. Like, I need to do this by Wednesday. Oof, if I got to get it done by Wednesday, I want it uploaded, sent, submitted, open to the public on Wednesday, well, then I better do my scripting today, and then shoot it tomorrow, edit it, and then I can get it up on Wednesday, right? So it's important. Let's see. Another tip they had for laser mode is, well, all right, one of them was the distraction-free phone. That'd be a good one. The other one, which I started doing right when I read the book, was wear a wristwatch. Mainly because most people nowadays who don't have iWatches or whatever use this as their time, which the problem with that, your default response in your body when you check that time, well, then I'm already here. Then I'm going to check Twitter. I'm going to check Facebook. I'm going to check Instagram. I'll, check my email because it's on my phone. Whew. And then all of a sudden, like, what time is it? Took away 5 minutes of your life. Let's see. Jess here says, as a society, we apologize too much for things when we shouldn't. Making time for ourselves is important, and we should keep those dates without feeling sorry. So, like, literally that section in the book literally gave you conversation sort of starters, like ways to help you not feel awkward in that moment. And I kind of love that they literally scripted out 2 or 3 things that you could sort of say. And when I was listening to it, I'm like, this is genius. Like, it's not hard, but having somebody give you permission and possibly even like preload some ammo, not to be a jerk, not to get out of work, but instead to actually do the good work, the things that are in your wheelhouse, so you can do that well. Okay, another one for laser mode I liked was, I don't have this yet, I haven't done this one yet, but it says one of the tips was play a laser soundtrack. So pick a song you don't mind hearing a lot, but they said pick a song that you don't necessarily listen to all that often. So right now, it's not like your favorite hit right now. It's one that you just know you like and you like to hear a lot. And then when it happens, you just start to train. It's a little Pavlov's dog. Like when you hear that, you know it's like laser mode time. So then you can choose to sort of neurally get fired up and ready for your highlight time, which hopefully will be in your focus time like that. So many great chats here. All right, so let's see. Laser mode, another one. Ooh, this is going to be scandalous for the group. I don't know if you guys are going to like this one. Carrie, I have not picked my song yet. I haven't done that. I haven't done that one yet. Elizabeth wondering what's my song. I will get back to you when I pick it. Amanda Gray saying, I think guarding time for yourself is so important, especially this year. I make myself stop thinking about and working on school stuff and have chill time. I think both are important. And to be honest too, what the book really, what I love is you're choosing what's important. So this isn't like a free pass to say like we can just put up our feet all the time because I want to make time for putting my feet up. It's really challenging, like, what do you want in life? What do you like in life? But it's not a goal setting book, but it's just saying set time to that. So my highlight tomorrow could be that I want to make an awesome lesson plan, and I'm going to dedicate focused time to doing that. And if somebody says, hey, can you cover my, no, I can't. I'm working on my highlight, and that's okay, that's good. But it could be for work. Or as Amanda pointed out, your highlight could be, I need to take some time for myself and sort of recharge. And that's okay. Eye of the Tiger. That's funny. I dig it. Okay, so the scandalous thing that I don't know if everybody's going to be with me on. Maybe I already blew past scandalous by deleting Twitter on my phone and deleting Facebook and Instagram on my phone. But all right. Sorry. See, now Adam, you distracted me. So I'm reading Adam's comments because it's all caps here. The scandalous thing, he had a lot to say about email and how we sort of do it to ourselves. We need to, he had lots of different suggestions. I can't sum them up here. However, he really said, if you're going to do it, check it kind of once a day and respond in that once a day time. That's it. The other thing too is he says, if you're worried, if you're hearing this right now that I'm telling you to go lower on email and you're like, no way, like people expect blah, 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 he says baloney. He calls baloney on that big time and just says you have to shift the expectations of the people you work with and shift the expectations of your students, by constantly answering it. And he said email is one of the worst offenders of this. You're constantly putting other people's needs above your highlight. And again, you are doing good work. You are a productive person. You are a great teacher. But these constant distractions do not help you reach the goal. So reducing email to a one check a day and a one answer a day, like slot, that's fine. And actually what happens is, because right now you might be like, oh, I could never do that. I get like 50 emails a day. You get 50 emails a day because you continue to be on that busy bandwagon, which is a big thing they try to say, like, get off the busy bandwagon. If you're like, well, these two guys don't understand like the pressures of email, like we're teachers, we get a lot. Both of these gentlemen worked at Google, one of which worked on the Gmail team itself. So I feel like if they're telling us it is okay to sort of restructure how we use email, the better. The other one that I liked under the shifting expectations, they said you should treat email like a letter. And I was like, ooh, I've never heard that before. In fact, I've heard the opposite. You shouldn't treat it like a letter. And what they meant by it was if somebody wrote you a letter and sent it in the mail and you're going to write back to them, you don't like get it in the mailbox and instantly say like, oh, I got to stop everything and bust out the ink pen and fire off an email back or fire off a letter back to them. It might sit on your desk, you read it, you think about it, you go back, you go to work the next day, and maybe you don't even email back, you don't write back, maybe till the weekend, because you want to give it time, thought, energy, right? You don't instantly stop everything you're doing to answer that letter. And they felt, and I kind of agree, most email actually could fall into that category. So when you do your 1 hour check, or not 1 hour, when you do your one-time check for the day, you could actually sort of separate out, like, I don't need to answer this right now. So I'm not even gonna use this moment to answer that. And then like answer the pressing ones. Maybe you have a student that needs something tomorrow or whatever, but the rest, maybe you fit to that prep period you have the next day when you might take a longer time. Let's see. Good question from those above. What about the many emails from virtual students? Now, obviously, they didn't specifically say this about COVID or anything like that. I am going to ad lib here and speak for two authors that I've never met in person. Nothing can go wrong here, right? Nothing. But they, I think, would tell you there are probably ways to batch those answers. So if you see like 10 kids asking you like, how do I do this? Or I can't hand in that. Then maybe that's a moment that you jump onto a thing like Loom or Screencastify, do a quick video of it, and then post that up on your website, right? Or post it up in your LMS or Google Classroom, like lots of kids had questions to this, boom, here it is. Then when another kid asks you, either just tell yourself like, it's okay, they don't need to know this in this moment. I can wait till tomorrow's Zoom meeting and just tell everybody, hey, there was lots of questions on this. I posted a video you can all watch. It's okay. Like they don't need to have it right now. Again, actually, I think by you answering them immediately, you're actually setting the precedent that they do need to do this immediately and that there might be some punishment if they don't. Like the world would fall apart if they didn't do their video correct. Like it's probably okay, guys. It's probably okay. But maybe that's not for you. I said this was going to be scandalous. Let's see here. Carrie said she had 165 emails this morning. I had a lot of emails too, but a lot of them too are just some of these automated emails. Like when people join my waiting room, I get one. So like per day, I end up getting like 30, hey, so-and-so's in the waiting room ready to join your class. That doesn't really count. Megan Wells, I gotta check the email. I'm telling you, read the book and then see if you can take some of these practices, and if email's too far for you, or like I deleted the social media, if that ends up being too far, you can go back, but it's about shifting that default and reaching your highlights. And having that kind of day where you reach your highlights is pretty awesome. And I think that's why you see me trying these other things, because since I've read the book and I've tried other strategies, I've liked the direction my life's going. So it made me willing to try more strategies, I guess. All right. We only have a few minutes left here, but energize was another strategy they talked about. I have not, Jocelyn, watched The Social Dilemma on Netflix, but anything that's eye-opening, pretty excited to try. Jennifer Knox, hardcore, love it. I will tweet you something when I'm using my computer to tweet. All right, energize. One that I absolutely loved. I've been trying. These guys did a really good job of boiling down some strategies into like functional ideas. Like we're all pretty busy, right? Like we do live in the busy bandwagon world. So they gave us some suggestions that we can do quickly. And one of them, they really talked about the power of meditation and how meditation would be great and how that would be awesome if we could all meditate for like an hour a day. However, they really also talked about the power of literally one breath. If you can just try to notice one breath, that it actually cognitively makes a difference. And so in a moment, just do that. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then that's it. Go continue about your day. But that one breath literally does bring some of your anxiety down, calms the mind down, and reminds you to be in the present. And these are all like, they quote all sorts of like studies and whatnot that like prove all of this scientifically. And that's just one breath. And yes, they admit more, better. But like, I could fit one breath in, like, ooh, that's nice. They talked about super short workouts with like high intensity training, but they even say that like, guys, you could even reduce that to like, they had one of them was a 3-minute workout, which was like, it was like do a minute worth, as many push-ups as you can do in a minute. I think it was as many sit-ups as you could do in a minute. I forgot the third one. But the point being, all these like littles add up to a lot. If you did that even daily, that's probably more working out than some of us do on a regular basis. And again, they actually showed how like scientifically that makes a difference. Like, are you going to all of a sudden be able to like run a marathon by doing those? No. Are you keeping healthier by doing those? Yeah. Jocelyn 7-minute workout app. I use it. I like it. It's pretty awesome. I love this, Adam. Blame Mr. Matera. A very good strategy. Sorry, no emails. I am playing games because I want to be like Mr. Matera. If that's what you get out of this chat, fantastic. Go for it. Write in your PD plan. I dig it. If I make it into your PD plan, Carrie, I would love it. One other energized strategy they talked about was act a little bit like a caveman, and that is like try to be a little bit more of a morning person, rise with the sun, go to bed a little earlier so you can kind of be that morning person. They talked about energy, like they talked a lot about this caveman analogy and how like we didn't eat as much as we eat now. So he actually talked a lot about intermittent fasting. Well, I shouldn't say a lot, but there was like a little section on intermittent fasting, how like literally maybe having less ends up being more. You end up like the quality of food ends up being better. They talked about natural ingredients, cooking your food as opposed to going out, lots of nuts, proteins, those kind of things, all really energizing, great for the body, great for the mind. And then the last one was reflect. And I love this idea that you could fine tune your life by reflecting over what you're doing. And they give you all of these strategies, right? And then they tell you, like, why don't you start using a strategy? And each day, just write down, like, hey, I tried, like, so I can write down tomorrow, I'm trying no social media on my phone. How do I feel today? And just really short. Tried this strategy, this is how I felt. Maybe I tried 2 strategies. Maybe I tried 3 strategies. This is how I felt. Over like 30 some days, you actually have a lot of data. And they really talked about using the scientific method in your own life. Be your own test subject and fine tune your life and see which strategies work for you. See how you're sort of moving that ball. And it is so wonderful, like what can happen when you guys try some of these strategies. So again, I hope you all think about picking up Make Time as a book to read. It was a short read. I think audiobook wise, it was like 4.5 hours. So I have like a 40-minute commute. So it was like, boom, like a little more than a week of commuting, and I got the book read. So excited to try some of it. So check it out. It is a great audiobook too, really well organized. Some audiobooks just have like no actual like chapters you can select. This one had all of the micro chapters listed, titled. So if I want to go back and just hear the iPhone one again, I can listen to that. Or if I want to hear the email section again, I can just pop right to that. But seriously, guys, think about picking this up. It's a great read. That was a big review. We didn't totally get into I had other questions that I wanted to talk to you guys about, but it was such a good book. And I think this year it's going to be so important for us to make time in our lives to get done what's important, to also feed our own souls. I see some of you, Amanda Gray, saying she likes intermittent fasting. Adam Marino says he loves intermittent fasting. I have been doing intermittent fasting now this is going on my 4th year, or into my 4th year of it. Absolutely love intermittent fasting. Super great. I've lost some weight, but that was obviously some time ago, but I've retained or maintained that weight loss, and I really feel better, more focused. Carrie says she has a 3-minute commute. How many trips will that take to finish the book? Awesome. Well, but you have a short commute, so maybe with your short commute, you can go for a walk or whatnot, listen to some of it. Or listen to it maybe in your classroom when you're, I don't know, cleaning up, stuff like that. Megan, that's awesome. I love it. Adam said he lost 17 pounds. Megan said, I found it. Kathy Sue just purchased the book. Oh, Kathy Sue, so excited. Please tell me what you think. I think it is a great book. Little bummed we didn't reach today's like goal. I was hoping we would reach. We're talking about Make Time, kind of a goal-setting book. I was hoping we'd reach our goal of 15. We got to 12, but we had kind of the bonus one earlier. Oh, Carrie, ouch. Listen to it as I answer emails. I knew that was going to be a bridge too far telling you guys about the emails, but I truly think I've done that in my life, and sure, I get the occasional joke about, like, we got an email about that. But for the most part, guys, I don't miss a meeting. Parents are happy with my work. My boss is happy with my work. And I answer far less emails than all of you. I guarantee it. But it's like, I think it's okay. The people I work with understand that. My parents, I literally called all of my advisees' parents. And literally when I had them on the phone, I said, like, just so you know, like, email's not a great way to get a hold of me. I'll eventually get back to you. Phone call's better. But honestly, I'm all in on your kids. Like, that is what I'm doing. And just that, like, a reminder that, like, don't email me every second. Like, hey, Jimmy did this. Jimmy needs that. Or, hey, can we, and that was helpful, I think. And again, to remind them that it's super busy. Well, Carrie, if you end up making an adjustment, I'd love to hear about it. It's not easy to change the default, which is, again, kind of the core principle that they had at the beginning of the book, where so many things in our lives are set by default, and we rarely turn them off or rarely, like, stop them. And all these defaults are typically trying to get you to do more of it. Like, think Netflix, for example. about 2 years ago, they changed. I don't know if you guys remember this, but 2 years ago, Netflix, when you finished a show, it would just take you back to the main menu. Now it doesn't even do that anymore. It just instantly starts the next episode. It's like in 5 seconds, you're going to start the next over. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then all of a sudden, boom, you're in the next episode. The default is to watch more. Same with YouTube. The default is to watch more. The phone with all the notifications, the default is to get your attention. So one of the things they said is turn off all the notifications. You are a bright individual. Like, you can check the things you need to check. You don't really need it to be right here on the screen that like, oh, I have an email from Susie. I better open it up right now, because the default is it's dinging at me, it's ringing bells. And then what am I doing? Putting everybody else's priority over my own, which again, they stressed that your own priority is to do good work in your life. So like, it's not again that I don't want to be interrupted so that I can play my board game. It's that I don't want to be interrupted because I'm doing good work. And I will choose moments to sort of tap into those things. But you want to avoid those infinity pools that's going to just sort of time suck your life. They also were very realistic guys, where they were also talking about how like sometimes you need to do that. Sometimes you do need to veg out, and you can binge watch a show here or there. But like, by and large, it's about shifting that default. Kathy Sue says her time consumer is Voxer. Jennifer, it's like Pavlov's dogs. Love it. Adam Moreno throwing me under the bus here. I don't think that's entirely true. There's always two sides to a story there. But definitely want to shout this out. Shout out to Teachers Tavern, second Friday of each month at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Join Amanda Gray and a great group of folks for a drink and some ridiculous fun on Zoom. So true. I wasn't able to make it this last Friday. I hope to make it one of these Fridays. That's a tricky time for me. I'm usually putting my daughter down right before that, but maybe I'll hop in a little later this Friday. We'll see. Phone games are a big time stuff. Actually, the next book I'm reading is called Hooked, and it's all about what gets people like engaged. And I just read a crazy stat in that book is the owner of Candy Crush. There are so many users that daily play Candy Crush that he makes over $1 million a day just from ad revenue, because of the amount of time people spend in Candy Crush on a daily basis. That is incredible to me. But they talk about how all of these things are built to suck your time, to like get you in and keep you in. So reading that book to sort of understand how I might produce some processes that can hook people into education, hook people into my lesson plans. I thought that'd be a good one. Ooh, they stay up late. All right. Well, I will try to get in then after I put my daughter down this Friday. Oh, no. That'd be 2 Fridays from now. Heather, thanks for that. I think it's just something that we need to remember and remind ourselves. And again, in the book, I liked the line about you're putting other people's priorities over your own. And it's so true when I think about email. A lot of times the emails I'm responding to don't need to be responded to right now, but they're there. And you've trained yourself that like email in, I should answer this now so I don't have to answer it later. And then you answer it, and then inevitably you get back to your task. But like you've taken yourself out of that zone, out of that focus time, that laser time. Sorry, that's what they use. Then you're trying to like build back into the laser time. It doesn't work really well. So again, maybe just having a time for email to answer that email better. And again, as you do that, and if Carrie, if you're still with us, if you can stick with that for a while, you'll start to shift the expectations of the people around you. So if you try it for a day, you still might feel like, then I just came in tomorrow and there were like double the emails for me to answer. And then if you tackle all those emails, you're just revalidating the fact that you're going to always constantly quickly answer those. But if you did it for a while, I promise you'd start to shift expectations. You'd still get everything done, and I think you'd feel less stressed. Also, that idea of batching some of those ideas as well. Adam Marino says, I am hooked on Teacher's Table, XP Lab, and now Teacher's Tavern. Way better than Candy Crush. Love it. These are real people coming together. I absolutely love that. That's super fun. So thank you, everyone, for coming together. We went a little long this time. We went 10 minutes over. I apologize about that. Sorry we didn't make it to today's like goals. Hopefully we will get that in the future. I was a little bummed. I saw we were over 15 at some point on this chat, so I thought we were going to make it, but we tapped out at 12, unfortunately. Hope you guys all have a great week. I'd love to know what you guys thought of tonight's format. A little different, but this is something I just read, and I thought it was so great, and I wanted to share it with you guys. But maybe this one didn't. Maybe it didn't work as well. I think it was still a really good chat, but I don't know. You guys got to let me know. What do you guys think? All right, everybody, you have a great day and a great rest of your week. We got 4 more days to make a difference in kids' lives, make a difference in our communities. So hang in there and let's make a difference together.